Be cool, be kind, be classy. The cupcakes so sweet and sexy. Have fun and enjoy the journey. Or just have a good attorney. No big whoop, no biggie. She lives near New York City. And not just a YouTube show. When you know, you better grab a straw. Learn about the law. It's cool here in the shade, sipping motions of lemonade. Cool heads will prevail, kindness will never fail. Be classy and vastly wise. Oh, Melanie Little is going live. Oh no, where is Melanie? Follow the island's melody. Is a concert within reach. No surprise, she's at Jones Beach. She heard some music far away. Captain Jack Sack Harbor Bay. He sings and his piano plays. Not all sounds are waterways. Speaking Yiddish and Latin, it's not just for Manhattan. It's for Goethe and Meshegas. Ridiculous that insanus. Oy vey, Marcus. Proset, that's for schmucks. Be cool, be kind, be classy. My cupcakes sweet and sassy. And not just a YouTube show. When you know. Cool heads will prevail. Kindness will never fail. Be classy and vastly wise. Melanie Little is going live.
Hello, my friends. Well, I'm on vacation, but you know what? The news doesn't sleep. Neither do I. And boy, this is going to be interesting. I saw somebody sent me some tweets about it. Haven't read it yet, so it's going to be a cold read for me. And there's another motion that I believe is also filed that we may get a hold of while we're reading the first motion on the Karen Reed case. God save the Commonwealth, my friends. God save the Commonwealth. So I'm here with my boyfriend, Dave Matthews, for the weekend in an undisclosed location, which many of you saw this morning when I had the door open here, and you could see this gorgeous ocean view, but now you can't because too much sun. The sun finally came out, but it's actually not really out. It's cloudy and rainy. So you know what? I'm here for this. I don't care how long it takes. We got all afternoon because Dave Matthews doesn't start playing until, what day is it? Tomorrow night. So, and Alan Jackson is not with me in Cancun. That's where that rumor started last year. So, had the standout been this weekend, I would have gone to the Cancun standout. But here I am with you, as always. I almost put my framed Karen Reed t-shirt on, but I can't just find it right now because I was so excited to get on here and to talk about it. This is wild, you guys. Bring it. Here we go. I don't have my usual setup, so I got I don't have a second screen. It's going to be a whole thing. Just let me know you could hear me. Let me know that, the sound isn't wonky. Everything's not wonky. We're going there. We're going there today together, and here it comes. Defense, bringing their A game as always. Oh, I heard a little birdie told me that today's David Yanetti's birthday. So happy birthday, Mr. Yanetti. I'm sure he's not watching, but everyone send happy birthdays to David Yanetti. Yeah, I have braids because it is so humid here and it was raining this morning and my hair is like an afro. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but no flat iron in the world was going to fix what was happening today with my hair. Happy birthday, Mr. Yanetti. May this be an amazing, amazing year for you. If I could just figure out how to do this without a double screen, we'd be maybe halfway there. All right, well, it is what it is. First motion of the day, as we wait for the other motions to come in, because I believe there's also a motion to dismiss that is coming onto the docket. We're hot off the press. We're hot off the press here, people. Before we start, and before I have to turn off the air conditioning or the fan or whatever it is, smash the like button. Helps the algorithm. Make sure you have your subscription valid, and just hit that subscribe button. It's free, and also helps the girl out. And a lot of people have been getting unsubbed lately by YouTube. Look at this. The ghost of John O'Keefe is here with $100 super chat saying it's getting really good now. Thanks for picking this up, Melanie. Oh, are you kidding me? I was like waiting. I was waiting. The email came in. I legit set the stream. Somebody first sent me Turtle Boy's tweet. Then somebody sent me the motion. I was up here. Done. Thank you. Of course. Thank you so much for your very, very super generous super chat. Let's get into it. This is the defendant's motion to recover expert-related expenses from the Commonwealth. It's a cold read for me. Bear with me. I need to enlarge the font, etc., etc. Here we go. Now comes the defendant, Karen Reed, and respectfully moves this honorable court to order that the travel costs and related expenses associated with defense expert Matthew Erickson's December 2024 trip to Massachusetts be paid for by the Commonwealth. They had an expert come here in December of 2024, and guess what happened? No spoilers if you've read it already. Those costs, which include travel expenses, lodging, and other accommodations, and expert fees associated with the trip to the Canton Police Department, were incurred after the Commonwealth agreed to allow Mr. Erickson to visit the Canton Police Department so that he could perform an independent analysis of the CPD Exact Vision DVR system and any video footage it contained from January 29th, 2022, between 12 a.m. and 11:59 p.m. I just need to fix my volume setting because I remember I turned it down earlier. Sorry if you had to adjust your volume, because when we were watching the Benefield hearing this morning, the court volume was low. I had to modulate. Now I'm at auto volume, so it should be better. Oh, is he an Aquarius? No, wait, when does Aquarius start? I'm Aquarius. You're Aquarius too? Aquariuses are the best. Okay, just saw that fly by and had to address it. When Mr. Erickson arrived at the Canton Police Department, all original DVR footage from the relevant date had been destroyed due to improper preservation by the Commonwealth. Because the Commonwealth failed to preserve the original video evidence, Mr. Erickson's trip to Massachusetts was futile. What do you think happened, folks? My friends? Did they improperly preserve it, or was it destroyed? Because when they made these arrangements for Mr. Erickson to come to Canton PD to inspect this stuff, apparently it existed then. Are you in shock and horror? Or is this just par for the course in Norfolk County? Wow. Moving on, because this is 16 pages, and we're only on the first paragraph. The costs associated with his travel to the Canton Police Department would not have been incurred but for the Commonwealth's representation that the evidence existed and that Mr. Erickson would be able to obtain an original copy of the video surveillance at issue. Accordingly, in the interest of justice, this court should order that the Commonwealth, not Ms. Reed, pay the cost of having her expert travel out of state to obtain a copy of the video surveillance footage, which the Canton Police Department, an agent of the Commonwealth, failed to adequately preserve. This is what you call a spoliation motion. This is a problem. This is a big problem. I don't think I can understate what a big problem this is. That is what I expect the motion to dismiss is going to be on. Oh, look, footnote 1. A motion to dismiss for extraordinary governmental misconduct based on the destruction of this and other exculpatory evidence is forthcoming. This motion should not be deemed a waiver of any such claims or issues. Oh, it's coming. It's en fuego, mi amigos. It is en fuego. Yeah. Yep. Brady? All the Bradys. It's the Brady bunch, Nina. It is the whole entire Brady bunch. I'm Marsha, and it is the Brady bunch. This is evidence tampering. This is spoliation at best. intentional destruction at worst, and you got some splaining to do. Oh, wait, did I even read that first paragraph? Oh, wait, where were we? Hold on. Okay, we were only there. Okay, but no one. Sorry. Factual background. Ms. Reed is accused of the following crimes arising out of the death of Officer John O'Keefe: murder in the second degree in violation of MGL 265, count 1; manslaughter while under the influence of alcohol in violation of MGL section 265, count 2; and leaving the scene of personal injury or death in violation of MGL section 90. In preparation for the trial, the defense requested access to the Canton Police Department CPD DVR system and drives that hold recording from the CPD security camera system so that the defense expert, Mr. Erickson, could obtain video files in their native file format with all available metadata. Hold on 1 minute. I'm multitasking here. All right. With metadata from January 29th, 2022, between midnight and 11:59 p.m. In order to ensure the accuracy and a complete download of all available data and metadata, the defense requested that their expert be allowed to make a mirror image of the DVR's systems drive. Did I miss footnote 2? Footnote 2 says, notably, when Mr. Erickson arrived at the CPD to extract video from the DVR system, the security camera system was set to overwrite older video surveillance footage with new video surveillance footage after approximately 30 days. Notably, however, each of the 3 instances in which the Commonwealth produced CPD footage to the defense was far outside the 30-day window after which the CPD DVR system was set to overwrite the older video recordings. See infra pages 5 to 7. Thus, an agent of the Commonwealth must have saved all of the aforementioned footage in playable format at some point before the end of the 30-day period, which ended in February of 2022. The Commonwealth therefore had care, custody, or control of all of the footage produced to date during the discovery phase of the initial trial and chose not to turn it over to the defense in a timely manner. I'm hearing Brady in my head. Brady, Brady, Brady. The video footage is of critical importance to the defense. The Commonwealth has provided the defense with CPD footage on 3 occasions, and that was footnote 2 that I just read to you. There it is. It's tiny. On April 4th, 2024, shortly before the first trial in this matter, the Commonwealth produced footage from the Canton PD main driveway and Canton PD Sallyport front wall for the very first time. Okay, so the first time they got any footage, April 4th, shortly before the first trial. See Notice of Discovery 35. The Sallyport front wall footage provided by the Commonwealth omitted a 42-minute interval during which the SUV arrived at the Canton PD Sallyport garage, citing the trial transcript. This missing footage could have been used to show the condition of the SUV's right taillight upon arrival at the Sallyport, and to date would be the only footage that serves this purpose. Shocked? The condition of the right rear taillight of the Lexus SUV at the time it entered law enforcement custody is perhaps one of the most critical and highly contested issues in this case. Mid-trial on April 23rd, 2024, via a share link entitled Additional Sallyport Video Download Link, the Commonwealth produced additional footage from the Canton PD Sallyport back wall. At trial, Trooper Yuri Buchanan testified on direct examination that the footage of Ms. Reed's vehicle from this interior Sallyport camera was an accurate depiction of the Sallyport and the SUV, and that, as seen in the video, italicized, no law enforcement officer approached the right rear tail light. And there's the receipt of the trial transcript. On cross-examination, however, it became apparent that the video surveillance footage displayed on direct examination was inverted and a mirror image of reality, despite neither the Commonwealth nor Trooper Buchanan having mentioned it on direct examination. Citing again the trial transcript. Therefore, when the video appeared to show a person standing near the left rear taillight of the vehicle, in actuality, that person was in fact standing near the right rear taillight, i.e. the taillight at issue. It remains unclear why this inverted video was withheld by the Commonwealth and produced to the defense in the middle of trial after the initial Canton PD surveillance footage was turned over by the Commonwealth. Oh, remember when I started covering this case and I just kept saying, I have questions, I have questions, I have so many questions. These are all of the questions. These are all of the questions that we were asking and screaming into a closet about during the trial, during the first persecution of Karen Reed. Thank you, Lisa, for being here for 11 months and for your kind comment. Most recently, post-trial on October 10th of 2024, the Commonwealth again provided new video surveillance footage, this time from the Canton PD church side exterior, first floor corridor, rear lot main side, and rear lot cruiser side angles. Really? After the trial was over? On October 10th, was that after Hank Brennan got involved? And he might have realized what he got involved in was like hell to the no? Huh. This footage shows Brian Higgins arriving in the parking lot of the Canton PD at 1:26 a.m. Oh, I need my, wait, does my highlighter work on this? Or do I have to do a red pen? Hold on. Sometimes, oh, it works because if it's a PDF, it doesn't work. Brian Higgins arriving in the parking lot of the Canton PD at 1:26 a.m. Enter the Canton Police Department and speak to some unidentified individuals on the phone as he's leaving the Canton Police Department between 1:34:52 and 1:34:56 a.m. Significantly, who is he talking to? Who is he talking to? Did he ever mention making any phone calls before? I think Turtle Boy tweeted earlier something about who is he talking to? So he didn't get there until 1:26 a.m. And then he's on the phone as he's leaving between 1:34 and 1:34. Significantly, this material and relevant evidence, which establishes Brian Higgins was on the phone with some unidentified individual at 1:34 a.m. as he left the Canton Police Department shortly after O'Keefe's death, was withheld from the defense at the first trial. Can you say Brady? Screaming a little louder, people in the back. If this case is not dismissed now based on this new evidence, the fix has been in from jump. From jump. And you can quote me on that. The video surveillance footage at issue was a major point of contention at trial, in no small part because the Commonwealth was utterly unable to establish any chain of custody for the various clips of video produced to the defense from the Canton PD. The footage produced by the Commonwealth is rife with issues that call into question its accuracy and forensic viability, including the presence of the inverted video and the large-scale gap missing from the feed at the precise time at which Ms. Reed's Lexus should have been shown entering the Canton PD Sallyport garage, in spite of the fact that the Commonwealth claims the video surveillance feed is motion activated. The fact that the Canton PD produced video surveillance with an inverted video and a gap in the footage at the critical moment, i.e. the precise time Ms. Reed's SUV arrived at the Canton PD garage, is not trivial. It goes to the heart of Ms. Reed's defense. In response to the defense's request, Special Assistant District Attorney Hank Brennan agreed to allow defense access to this critical information and to make the arrangements necessary for Mr. Erickson to extract the video from the DVR system. Accordingly, Mr. Erickson traveled from Phoenix, Arizona to Boston, Massachusetts on December 11th, 2024, and after making the arranged visit to the Canton Police Department, returned to Phoenix on December 12th, 2024. The work Mr. Erickson did in connection with this trip, as well as the flights, hotels, stay, Uber rides, and other accommodations associated with his travel to Massachusetts, cost Ms. Reed a total of $12,229.57. Experts are expensive, but you know what? That's not even as much as I've seen experts charge. Actually, that's reasonable. And that is citing the affidavit of Matthew Erickson, which we will read after we finish this motion. As planned, Mr. Erickson visited the Canton PD on the morning of December 12, 2024, to extract video from the DVR system. He arrived around 9 a.m. and was met by Colleen Crawford, a multimedia director and certified forensic video technician from the Norfolk District Attorney's Office, as well as 3 others. Ms. Crawford expressed surprise that Mr. Erickson was there to extract video from the DVR, and relatedly, skepticism that the footage would still exist. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but isn't she their new expert? Wasn't she exchanged as an expert for them? Colleen Crawford, no relation to Mike Crawford at Young Jerks, I imagine. Hang on for 1 second. I just have to address something with one of my kids. Give me 1 sec. I'm back. So talk amongst yourselves for a second. Yeah, so isn't this their expert? Oh, his flight alone was 2,200. Yeah, we'll get to that. No spoilers. No spoilers, please. That's right. AJ's Red Eye says, you wrong for withholding evidence. You wrong. Go to the chat for a second. Good citizen. Thank you for your super chat. Fire on acid. Oh my God. I am the one who coined that phrase, and you honored me by making it your username. Thank you. We said something was fire on acid. Thank you so much. This case needs framed. Thanks for your super chat. Piney Woods, Law and Crime. Can't wait for this. Thanking me. Thank you. Thank you for your super chat. Hi, Mimi. Hi, Mimi. Thanks for the 10. If not all inclusive, have a Tito's on me. Thanks for taking a break from paradise to review the madness with us again. Enjoy the concert. It's 3 concerts, 3 in a row. 3 nights in a row on the beach, Dave and Tim. So excited. Thank you, Mimi. All right, Colleen Crawford is surprised now that he showed up because what? They didn't arrange it with her? Mr. Erickson subsequently asked whether anyone had accessed the system to determine whether the relevant video footage was even present. They answered no. Notably, before Mr. Erickson made this trip to Massachusetts, counsel for the defense team spoke directly with Ms. Crawford, who was made aware of the footage the parties agreed would be extracted by the defense. We're in the Twilight Zone. I need some Twilight Zone emojis in the chat, please. We are back in the Twilight Zone. Defense counsel made a representation that all of this footage would be there and available for their expert to inspect. And they get there, and Colleen, I keep wanting to call her Colleen Hoover because of the lively Baldoni thing, but it's Colleen Crawford is like, what? What you doing here? After photographing the relevant equipment, Mr. Erickson began recording and then accessed the system. Initially, it appeared to him that there were only 30 days of video history, and consequently that the relevant footage had not been preserved. That impression was confirmed when he navigated to the appropriate section of the DVR system, where a search by day and time could be performed, and ran a search for January 29, 2022 between 12 a.m. and 11:59 p.m. That search returned 0 results. Based on the size of the drives, the percent usage, and the remaining usable drive space, Mr. Erickson concluded that there was mathematically no possible way for the videos from January 29th of 2022 to be present in December of 2024 when he performed this search, unless they were manually saved and or properly preserved via standard forensic protocols. Next, Mr. Erickson began the process of generating any activity logs for the date of interest. This request ran for an abnormal amount of time without showing results. When asked whether the system had ever behaved this way and whether it could be expected to complete the request, the person on site who was most familiar with the system shrugged and said he didn't know. He didn't know. We have some nope emojis for members as well. Remember the nope emojis? Nope. We also have handcuffs. We are outraged. We have a rubber duck. We've got them all and they all apply. We have leaf blowers and solo cups too. Put some of them in there, members. Make the non-members jelly. I don't know. It just did. This would be so mind-numbing if it wasn't already so mind-numbing. Now, at this point, it's just like par for the course. We're just like, oh, really? That happened? Oh. No big whoop. After investing approximately 10 minutes into this and similar actions with no results, Mr. Erickson determined that the relevant activity logs were also gone. Mr. Erickson asked the individuals whether they had done a forensic extraction of the drives to get the original data, to which they answered, nope. Actually, they said no, but the nope emoji applies here. No, they just didn't. He asked how they preserved video when they needed to, and they responded that they simply manually saved the video from the DVR. Finally, he asked if they had a written protocol in January of 2022 or now for saving video. They responded, nope. They did not. They responded that they did not. Individuals refused to provide Mr. Erickson with a copy of the original video files that they pulled from the DVR system, stating that it had already been provided to defense counsel. I'm going to save my snark. When asked how they produced the footage to the court and or the defense, they looked confused. Integrity Now News says what many of you are thinking. They are all liars. Prince Lover says, anyone else groaning to the screen? How did they pull the inverted video then? Ding, 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 ding. PMA, well done. They looked confused. Mr. Erickson clarified by asking whether it was provided on a USB drive, disk, or share link. They could not tell him for sure, but eventually said it was probably a share link. The way Canton PD technicians extracted the video data from their DVR system is insufficient for forensic purposes and has resulted in the permanent loss of the original surveillance video data. Canton PD DVR system, like most, stores videos in a proprietary format. Yeah, the inverted kind. I'm going to highlight some of these comments that are passing by to address later. Yeah, the individuals who were present. Let's go back to that because I want to get to that too. It's Colleen, not Colleen Hoover. Colleen, the forensics. Colleen Crawford. He was met by Colleen Crawford, who's the multimedia director and certified forensic video technician from the Norfolk DA's office. She's the one that they have recently said is going to be an expert now. Maybe they're not going to use Garino and they're going to use her. It says they answered no. So who else was there? Who else was there? I think that's the only one they're naming right now. Curious. Curiouser and curiouser. It's probably a share link. The way Canton PD technicians extracted the video data from their DVR system is insufficient for forensic purposes and has resulted in the permanent loss of the original surveillance video data. The CPD DVR system, like most, stores videos in a proprietary format. Canton PD uses the DVR interface to pick and choose which videos to save, and then that data is converted by the system into a playable format. The resulting file is almost always of lesser quality than the original, and because it exists in a different format, the resulting file will not hash verify to the original. As such, forensic experts cannot properly test the authenticity and integrity of the video footage. It can't be authenticated. It never should have been allowed in at the first trial. I'm going to say that again, not only because of late exchange, but because it couldn't be authenticated. It was not the best evidence. How that ever got in, I'll never know. Due to the Commonwealth's failure to preserve the original video surveillance footage, Mr. Erickson was unable to extract video from the DVR system footage from January 29, 2022, to obtain relevant footage between 12 a.m. and 11:59 p.m. as previously arranged and agreed upon by all parties. Thus, the Commonwealth's failure to adequately preserve evidence has resulted in the destruction of 1, a forensically sound image or hash-verified copies of the video surveillance footage from Canton PD on January 29th of 2022, and 2, logs establishing the individuals who accessed, manipulated, copied, and or deleted the footage from January 29th of 2022 from the Canton PD DVR system. We don't know where it is, we can't provide it, and we don't know who touched it. Sorry, peace out. Oh, and we didn't even know you were coming. If we knew you were coming, we'd have baked the cake. This is unbelievable. Mr. Erickson left only with the audio and video recording of his work and photographs that he captured from the DVR menus, which demonstrate that the Canton PD and Norfolk County District Attorney's Office failed to preserve all video surveillance footage and associated logs, both of which are material and relevant to this case. to say the least. I don't know who drafted this, but I am giving them a shout out for their very reserved withholding of snark in drafting this motion, because my snark would have been on fire on paper. Fire on acid. Argument. The Commonwealth had an obligation to preserve the original DVR surveillance footage from January 29th of 2022. You think? It almost goes without saying, and it's like it's beyond that. This is what we're coming to. In Massachusetts, the Commonwealth has a duty to preserve exculpatory evidence for the defendant to inspect, examine, or perform tests on. Commonwealth v. Harwood, quoting Commonwealth v. Neal, citing Commonwealth v. Woodward. State courts have repeatedly stressed the need for prosecutors to do their utmost to preserve and present exculpatory evidence which is available to the prosecution. Evidence is considered exculpatory if it merely tends to diminish a defendant's culpability, citing Graham. And we know Graham is one of Judge Cannoni's favorite cases. Graham and McFarland. I am a New York attorney, and I am learning more Massachusetts case law than I ever thought I would in my life. Any evidence which tends to impeach the credibility of a key prosecution witness, such as evidence showing that footage of the defendant's vehicle, the alleged murder weapon, has been tampered with or altered, is clearly exculpatory, according to Harwood. Quoting Neal. Pin it on the girl, Maria. Pin it on the girl. This is outrageous beyond words. Point 2. For the loss of the original DVR surveillance footage, Ms. Reed is entitled to, at minimum, to recovery of expert witness-related expenses. At minimum is right. When potentially exculpatory evidence is lost or destroyed, as here, a balancing test is employed to determine the appropriateness and extent of remedial action. The courts must weigh the culpability of the Commonwealth, the materiality of the evidence, and the potential prejudice to the defendant, citing lots of other cases. Here, the balancing test indicates that the Commonwealth is culpable for the loss of the original footage. The footage was material evidence, and its loss prejudiced Ms. Reed. Well, something funny, Ms. Reed? Yeah, it duckin' is funny. It's funny. It's funny that you had some of that surveillance footage from the Sallyport. You had some of it. You saved some of it. There's a percipient part missing from what you saved, and then miraculously, during trial, you turned over the inverted video, and then post-trial, after Hank Brennan got involved, you all of a sudden turned over a whole bunch of more surveillance video from inside the Sallyport. Huh. And all that footage goes back to January 29th of 2022, you say? Huh. So how did you save that footage? And how do you arrange for the defense expert to come and get the footage from its original source? And then he shows up and the people are like, we didn't know you were coming. And then, of course, it doesn't even exist anymore. Help me understand. Something is funny, Ms. Reed. Something is real funny. And I don't mean funny, haha. A, the Commonwealth is culpable for the loss of the original DVR footage. Critically, for purposes of this balancing test, the Commonwealth is culpable for the conduct of its agents, and culpable conduct includes actions ranging from intentional to negligent and inadvertent. See Harwood. Therefore, the failure of Canton PD to preserve the footage, whether intentional, reckless, negligent, or inadvertent, is attributable to the Commonwealth. See Harwood. which says the prosecutor's obligations for proper handling of exculpatory evidence extend to material in the possession or control of members of the prosecutor's staff and any others who have participated in the investigation or evaluation of the case and who either regularly report or with reference to the particular case have reported to his office. We all know, we've learned through this case, that there are certain MSP troopers who are assigned specifically to the Norfolk County DA's office, including Proctor, Buchanan, Garino, Fanning, Tully, and many others. Many others. Here, the Canton PD was in possession of the footage, knew that it was potentially exculpatory before it was lost, and failed to preserve it. Footnote 3 says, and I quote, the relevant footage was from January 29th of 2022. Ms. Reed was arrested just 3 days later, on February 1st of 2022, and arraigned on February 2nd of 2022 by Assistant District Attorney Adam Lally. The Commonwealth was thus on notice about the potential use of the footage with ample time to properly preserve it, even if footage was normally set to delete after 30 days. What the duck? It's not like a case that is a cold case for many years, and then all of a sudden, Karen Reed is arrested 5 years later, even 1 year later, even 6 months later. She was arrested within days because Proctor decided Karen Reed killed John O'Keefe with her car within 16 hours, even sooner than that, really, because he called for that tow at what, 2 p.m. on January 29th? I think it was reckless, negligent, or intentional. You be the judge. Relevant members of the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office also failed to take steps to have the data preserved. C. Harwood, upholding lower court decision that the Commonwealth was responsible for the inadvertent loss of the evidence and was culpable for its failure to preserve exculpatory evidence, given the failure of the Assistant District Attorney General to be sure that the file was preserved, and the negligence on the part of the alleged defrauded company, which was working with the prosecution in misplacing the file. B, the original DVR footage was material. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, it is, oh yes, it is material. Am I plugged in here? Evidence is material if, in considering the entire record, it creates a reasonable doubt as to the defendant's guilt that would not otherwise exist. Quoting Harwood, reasoning that the Commonwealth's failure to preserve the original letter prejudiced the defendant because the original was necessary to know whether this signature was forged, and because if it was not, the Commonwealth's principal witness may be impeached and the defendant's case substantially advanced. I'm going to point out that this same argument could be used for so many other things that were admitted into trial. For example, the screenshots of text messages between Allie McCabe and Colin Albert, and many other things. That's just one that is immediately entering my mind. It's not the best evidence. It's not the original file. There's no metadata. It's a ducking screenshot. And we know how some of the people who think that Karen Reed is guilty and should be hung in town square know how to do the deep fakes. We know they know how to do the deep fakes. Remember the deep fake video they did of Alan Jackson and Karen Reed that they published all over the internet? And then whatever genius made that deep fake video forgot to take the CapCut logo off the end of the video. We're going down, 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 down. Not so much in a blaze of glory though, huh? I'm thinking in song lyrics, and there's so many that are coming into my head right now. KPT needs to rage clean. Go on, I'll allow it. Here, the relevant video evidence speaks to the state of Ms. Reed's vehicle immediately after John O'Keefe's death, as well as the handling of that vehicle by Canton PD, both of which are key issues in this case. In some cases, it is important for the Commonwealth to maintain and preserve the original piece of evidence rather than a copy. Compare Harwood, finding that loss of original letter prejudiced defendant because defense expert could not determine authorship based on photocopy, where authorship was relevant to the fraud claim. With Commonwealth v. Buckley, finding that loss of original paper bag with handwriting found at homicide scene did not prejudice defendant because handwriting experts stated that the photograph of the bag was adequate for his analysis and testimony, which was based on the photograph, which the defendant had access to. So see how those two things differ. Difference between a screenshot or a photocopy and a photograph of something that an expert can analyze without needing the original item, like handwriting analysis. This is one such case. First, the original DVR data and footage was necessary for proper analysis of the authenticity and integrity of the video, both of which are actually at issue here. That is especially concerning in this case, where there is substantial evidence suggesting that the videos have in fact been altered, despite claims to the contrary by the Commonwealth and its agents. Footnote 4. Specifically, the surveillance footage produced by Canton PD included an inverted video and footage with significant gaps, including gaps at the precise time Ms. Reed's Lexus entered the Canton PD Sallyport garage. Mama Shi, thank you very much for the very generous $100 Cash App. You were always a very, very kind and generous supporter of this channel. Free Karen Reed. And Justin Green, thank you also for your Cash App earlier as well, before the stream even started. Justin is also a very kind supporter of the channel. Thank you. Oh, what had happened? Hang on while I change the, get rid of this. No, get rid of this. You, come back to continuous scroll. Now you, go to the right. Just a step to the right. Rocky Horror, if you know, you know. All right, come on. Why won't you tile to the left of the screen, tile to the right of the screen, and make my job easier, people? Okay. Because some of this deserves highlighting, and I want to highlight it as we go. All right, we were at footnote 4, right? Footnote 4. Coming back, talk amongst yourselves for a second. Second, because of the methods used by the Canton PD to access the playable format of the surveillance footage, the videos ultimately produced by the Commonwealth are of lesser quality than the original footage. For these reasons, the fact that the videos are available in some form is not sufficient. Hell to the yes. Screaming into a closet. It's not the original. It's not the best evidence. And it is. It is insane that this is not remotely surprising, Reggie Ray. It is insane. Smash the like button if you haven't already. Clerk Jim Clown. Commonwealth. Elevating the level of bad faith, shock, and horror. How's the other side going to spin this today? I don't even want to know. The videos in their original format were material and should have been preserved. C, the loss of the original DVR footage prejudices Ms. Reed. As detailed above, there is significant evidence that the DVR footage provided to defense and shown at trial was altered. The fact that the original DVR footage is now permanently unavailable hinders Ms. Reed's ability to demonstrate the differences between the original footage and the footage provided to the defense and shown at trial, differences suggesting the footage was tampered with or otherwise altered, and deprives her of critical evidence about how those differences came to be. Contrast Phoenix, where the defendant was not prejudiced by the loss of original bloody fingerprint, where both experts testified that the inconsistencies between the original and photograph could be identified and fully explained without the original by different conditions under which each print was obtained, and where no evidence suggested the blood contained in the original could be used for DNA testing. Ultimately, the loss of this evidence in its original format, which resulted directly from the actions and inactions of the Commonwealth and its agents, hinders Ms. Reed's ability to put on an adequate defense. The loss of the DVR footage in combination with the Commonwealth misrepresentations further prejudices Ms. Reed by burdening her with a significant and unnecessary financial expense. And I'm going to point out to those who don't know that Karen Reed is already $5 million in debt for what it's cost her to defend herself in this case. The Commonwealth, by agreeing to and arranging the Canton PD visit, led Ms. Reed and her team to believe that the relevant footage existed and that the defense's forensic expert would be able to forensically extract the relevant footage if he flew to Massachusetts to visit the Canton PD. Because of the Commonwealth's representations, defense expert Mr. Erickson did fly from Arizona to Massachusetts, stayed overnight in a hotel, and traveled to the Canton PD for the agreed-upon imaging. Yet he was never able to perform the imaging as the Commonwealth had failed to preserve the information. The Commonwealth failed to take any steps to determine whether the footage still existed before prompting the defense to send its expert to Massachusetts, despite an apparent understanding by Canton PD technicians that such footage did not exist. For the services rendered on December 12th, 2024, and associated travel costs, Ms. Reed paid defense expert Mr. Erickson's employer, USA Forensic, LLC, a total of $12,229.57. This expense is significant and draws on the financial resources needed by Ms. Reed to defend herself at trial in this matter. Again, to say the least. Let's go to the chat for a second before we move on, because this is juicy. To section D. Good evening to the Netherlands. Thank you, Matilda, for your super chat. People Morrissey's Sketty Sane says the CW really crapped this entire case down their legs. Clean it up. Rain delay, Lally. It's in your socks. No, Lally has nothing. Lally has washed his hands of this. He wants nothing to do with this. He's like, I'm out. Peace. I don't even think he said peace. I think he just said, I'm out. You're on your own here. You're on your own, kid. That reminds me of another Taylor Swift song. You're on your own, cut. You're on your own, kid. I got nothing to do with this. I'm out of here. I had another layout. I don't know where it went. That was better. But this ain't it. Hold on. No. Yeah, I think that's a little bit better. All right. Thanks for your super chat. Anne says, Hank is grasping at straws. Thank you, Anne, for hanging out for 2 months. Sebastian Anon, thanks for the 10. Melanie, obviously Higgins was talking to Chris Alberts, but you wrong, Kevin from South Boston, you wrong. Thank you, Sebastian, for your super chat. Serenity, thank you for your 20. Says thanking me. Shock and horror at this new info. You know, I was wondering why the defense seemed so calm during the Dalbert hearing of Marie Russell, and now, I know, they had this in their back pocket, right? He says he went there on December 12th, the first Dalbert hearing, Dalbert, whatever the hell you want to call it, potato. First one was in December, right? Second one was in January, because it was just like recent. Yeah, Dr. Russell's second part of her hearing was January 7th. Well, no wonder Hanky Panky was so feisty. No wonder. Because this had already happened in December. Thank you, Fairy Raven. Emma, tuning in from Ireland. My guess is that Higgy was on the phone to Berkowitz. They were close after Higgins' sister died, and Berkey knew where to hide a body. That's right, because somebody did say that during his retirement function, right? He's the guy you call if you ever need to hide a body. Jazia, thanks for your super chat. Oh, wait, did I put this up, Emma? Emma, thank you so much. Jazia, thank you for your time. Thanks so much for taking time out of your day to cover on your holiday. Oh, my pleasure. Are you kidding me? I'm not missing this for anything. Thank you. Lady Zelda, I predict the perpetual is about to hit the fan. Good. Lady Zelda is a psychic. Thank you for your 10. She knows. She knows what's going on. Thank you, Kay Willis, for thanking me. Thank you for watching. Decline is thanking me, and I'm thanking you back. Thank you for your 5. Nina, is it possible that the feds have the video, or is all of it gone? I would imagine that the original is gone. They did something to copy it originally, got rid of the parts they didn't want, didn't need, didn't think were helpful in their own estimation. And I don't think that the original files still exist. I could be wrong, but I don't know, Nina. I don't know. Anything's possible, right? Squirty Belly, if it overwrites after 30 days, how did they discover it? Just before the trial? Exactly what I'd like to know. Did they save it in some form? It just wasn't in its original form with original metadata? I don't know. Oh, Wanda, thank you. Absolutely my pleasure to be here on vacation or not. Marcia, duck up, warning. Karen, we'd be free of this very soon, says Aqua. Catherine, I want to know why so much evidence was unusable. Suesponte says this sounds like Yanetti's words to me. We'll see at the end. Bo, formerly Adam Lally's resignation. Thanks for the 5. Why would Colleen be present if she didn't know they were coming? She works at the Norfolk DA's office, not the Canton PD. Great point. Stephanie says, I hope Karen Reed sees the pants off. A lot of them. Supergirl, thank you. You're very welcome. Thanking me. Thank you. Something is so funny. Ani Bev says, becoming convinced this is Commonwealth's intentional way out of the second trial while still being able to claim Karen Reed is guilty. Disgusting, but loves me. Oh. Interesting thought. Greg, is this something that would normally be enough to get a case tossed, like in an honorable court? Well, remember what happened in the Alec Baldwin trial in New Mexico when was she also a special prosecutor? Carrie Marcy, a specially assigned district attorney, withheld evidence regarding some ammunition that was brought. I don't know that case like 100%, but it was regarding some ballistics or some ammunition that came in from another source as like exemplar ammunition, and she just put it under a different file number, or somebody in the office put it under a different file number. It wasn't really connected to the Alec Baldwin case, but the guy who came in said it was. This is the kind of ammunition that we, whatever it was, she withheld it because she did not think it was evidentiary or necessary to turn over. And the court, the judge in New Mexico was having none of it. She dismissed Alec Baldwin's case that day from the bench. It was wild. Carrie Marcy, the district attorney, whatever special district attorney, put herself on the stand and started testifying. And I'm like, holy God, girl, what are you doing? Like, you could be disbarred for this. What are you doing? You're going to get up there and make admissions? But yeah, in any other court, it would be. It would be. Meatball Morrissey, thank you so much again for another 10. Kyle, if this is before Bev, I'm not optimistic, but they're building a hell of an abuse of power case. Yeah, she will be the one to hear this. She's been specially assigned to this case for trial. So she's going to hear it. Thank you, Kyle, for your 5. Dennis Sweeney in the house. Dennis Sweeney, thanking me. Great news for Canton. Good, honest, Helena exposed, standout Canton PD. Tomorrow from 12 to 2. All right. If anybody who's interested wants to go stand out at Canton PD tomorrow from 12 to 2, Dennis Sweeney will be there, and he will greet you. I had the pleasure of meeting him when I was in Dedham for the trial, and he's amazing. Oh, can I enlarge the documents? Okay, yeah. Let me just see. Thank you, Scott. I just have to find a different setup here. Hang on. It's hard when I'm not working with a second screen. I apologize. Give me one sec. Nope. All right, so this is not what I'm seeing on my end, so I don't. Let me take this off the screen for a second. It's like a whole thing. Hang on. I'm going to stop sharing, and then I'm going to share again. All right, how's that? Good? All right, now. So if anybody wants to go to a standout tomorrow, 12 to 2, bring your signs. Canton PD, Dennis Sweeney will be there. He may be dressed up, but he will greet you. Keep fighting the good fight, Dennis. Squirty Belly David Reese says, this has got to stop. And he's not wrong. Thank you, David Reese. D, the appropriate remedy for the loss of this evidence is, at minimum, recovery of these expert-related expenses from the Commonwealth. Wait, did we already? That's where we left off, right? Yep, okay. Given the materiality of the lost evidence, the prejudice to Ms. Reed, and the culpability of the Commonwealth, Ms. Reed is entitled to a new remedy. There is no particular remedy for the loss of evidence. Instead, our courts have fashioned or upheld various judicial remedies, from allowing the defendant to bring the jury's attention to the Commonwealth's negligent handling of the evidence, to dismissal of the indictment. Citing Harwood. These decisions are within the sound discretion of the trial judge and are reviewed for abuse of discretion. Sorry, another fire to put out. Talk amongst yourselves for 1 second. Well, that was weird because it just like, hold on. These decisions are within the sound discretion of the trial judge and are reviewed for abuse of discretion. As you know, that would be Judge Canoni, and she's the gatekeeper. She likes to keep reminding everyone. Because the travel expense and expert fees associated with this trip were the direct result of Commonwealth's representations to defense, and because the Commonwealth's failure to fulfill its obligations of preserving the video made the defense expert's trip to Massachusetts futile, Ms. Reed is entitled at a minimum to recover these costs from the Commonwealth. Section 3, allowing Ms. Reed to recover these expert-related expenses from the Commonwealth is in the interest of justice. Ms. Reed is not indigent and therefore would typically be responsible for her own expert costs and fees, according to Massachusetts Criminal Rule 17. Providing for coverage of an indigent defendant's witness expenses by the Commonwealth, but not for coverage of such expenses from non-indigent defendants. However, the Commonwealth's actions have caused significant and unnecessary travel expenses for defense expert Mr. Erickson, and thus for Ms. Reed. Accordingly, Ms. Reed now seeks to recover these travel costs from the Commonwealth. To order the Commonwealth to pay these fees is within this court's discretion and is in the interest of justice. Yeah, and that's like the least that should happen. The interests of justice require the Commonwealth to bear the cost of having Ms. Reed's expert travel out of state to the Canton PD to copy files with which the Commonwealth knew had already been deleted. To force Ms. Reed to pay the expenses out of pocket when she is already prejudiced by the loss of evidence itself would be a complete miscarriage of justice. Well, that's not the only miscarriage of justice going on here. Defense expert Mr. Erickson traveled to Massachusetts as part of an arrangement made between defense and the Commonwealth, in which the Commonwealth represented to the defense that Mr. Erickson could visit Canton PD and extract the relevant footage. At the time the Commonwealth made that representation, it knew or had reason to know via its agents who were responsible for properly preserving the footage but did not, and via Assistant District Attorney Lally and Special Assistant District Attorney Brennan, who did not take the actions necessary to ensure the evidence was preserved by those agents, that the footage was not properly preserved and thus was non-existent. This is mind-numbing. The Commonwealth included the defense expert, the Commonwealth induced the defense expert to fly to Massachusetts anyway, wasting Mr. Erickson's and the defense's time and causing the defense great expense. Not to mention all the time, like the attorney's time, setting all of this up, all the administrative time, making this motion. Ms. Reed should not be forced to shoulder this unnecessary financial burden. The travel expenses and other costs associated with Mr. Erickson's December 2024 trip to Massachusetts were incurred as a direct result of the Commonwealth's failure to meet its obligations of properly preserving material evidence. This misrepresentation came at significant expense to Ms. Reed, who paid in total $12,229.57 for these expert services and the related travel. Because the Commonwealth arranged for the defense expert to travel to Massachusetts to inspect evidence that the Commonwealth had not properly preserved, it is in the interest of justice that Ms. Reed be allowed to recover the related costs. Conclusion: for the above reasons, Ms. Reed respectfully requests that this honorable court grant her motion to recover expert-related expenses related to defense expert Matthew Erickson's December 2024 trip to Massachusetts. XOXO, Alan Jackson, Elizabeth Little, David Yannetti, Ian Henshey, Defense Team Extraordinaire, dated yesterday, January 22nd, 2025. Just hit the docket today. Just hit the docket today. Let's go to the chat for a moment before we go to Erickson's affidavit. Wow, just wow. Wild. Wild. Mrs. Bucket, thank you for your super sticker. Milo the Magnificent became a member. Welcome, Milo the Magnificent. Cynthia Lynch, thank you for your super sticker. Love Shack, thanks for hanging out for 12 months. Brady, and I'm not talking about Tom. I see what you did there. Well done. Period, full stop. Thanks for your 5. Does this mean the January 31st Daubert hearing of Green become a motion to dismiss? No, doesn't mean that. In fact, when I checked the docket, that date on January 31st is not in the court's computer. Neither is, I think there were 2 dates that were set at the last hearing. Neither one of them comes up when I look at the docket. So I have questions. I have so many questions. Yeah, there's a hearing set for the 31st, and then there was another 2-day hearing. The dates were held for February 6th and 7th, which would have been, I don't remember what that was for. Potential ARCA Daubert hearings. So no, it does not mean that. This will probably have its own date because, they're going to have to respond, because this also contains some very serious ethical violations on behalf of the district attorney's office, completely separate and apart from the internal affairs investigations of some of the troopers that are involved. Proctor is one who, Proctor's hearing was continued to February, I think it's February 10th. And originally, they had these 2 hearing dates scheduled for Proctor. There were always 2 hearing dates, so I never thought they were going to finish the first hearing whenever they had that, whatever day it was that they had it, because I have no idea what day it is. So thank you for your super chat. Spoken TC, thanks for hanging out for 8 months. Says to dismiss without prejudice, to hide from the feds. Yuri's math teacher gifted 5 memberships again today. Thank you so very much, Yuri. Yuri's math teacher, not to be confused with Yuri himself. Loudmouse, thanks for the 10. I would have paid money to have been a fly on Beto Rosewell when he read this. Yeah, I don't know. He could be in court today. Maybe he hasn't even seen it yet. I have no idea. I haven't spoken to him. Thanks, Loudmouse. Kelly, thank you so much for the 5. Hold on. Brian Higgins said he didn't see Karen and John at the Alberts, but they arrived at 12:30. And he got to the Canton PD at 1:34 a.m. So that means he was MIA for over an hour. Well, remember, he also did testify that he saw a tall, dark-haired man come in the house that he didn't recognize. So was he not really lying? But he should have recognized John O'Keefe if it was John O'Keefe, right? From the bar at the Waterfall where they just left. And he had also been to his house for a Super Bowl party. Remember the Duncan Super Bowl party? He'd also been there. Or he just lied about what time he left. Many of those things could be true. Kyle said Baldwin was ammunition that wasn't near the explosion. Still, yeah, it was, I forget what it was, whatever it was, the judge decided it was not up to the district attorney to decide whether or not it was exculpatory or evidentiary or should be turned over. And the case was dismissed immediately. Thank you, Kyle, for pointing that out. Joe Flip-Ahead is here. Joe Flip-Ahead is here with the 20. I saw Dave and Tim in Cancun in 2013 for 3 nights. Unbelievable time. Enjoy yourself. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I come every year. Mi hermana comes with me. It's our girls trip. And she just told me that her flight, she was on a flight and they had to turn back for mechanical issues. So she's coming from the West Coast. So she's going to be here later than she thought, but that means I have more time to hang out with you guys. Thanks, Joe Flipperhead. It is amazing. It's the best weekend ever. Lori, thanks for the tip. Just realized it's my 7-month, 1-day anniversary. Happy anniversary, Lori Weeks. Happy anniversary. Live, Laugh, Toaster Bow says, thank you for making my time in line at Miami TSA go by faster. Are you coming down to Cancun? Are you coming to the shows? Ducking, unbelievable. I hope she sues them to the ground. Oh, it's coming. We coming. That's what Coach Prime said about Colorado. We coming. We coming. I should get some of those Colorado shirts because they'd also be applicable here. We coming. I like it. I like it. Coach Prime is awesome. Wow, wowzer, says Karen. Scott McGinnis. Judge Bev is already yawning at these motions. I don't know. We'll see. Comes a time when the blind man takes your hand, says, don't you see? Uncle Fredo, thanks for coming in with the hot 10. Just my thoughts, but Higgins went to Canton PD to retrieve a Faraday bag to put John's phone in, and his Jeep would have been seen on library footages. Or on the Canton PD footage too, hey? Karen says, this is so fantastically brilliant. Thank you. Thank you so much for your super chat. Boston Brandy, thanks for the 5. Do you think the president's new halt on civil rights cases will impact Karen's case or the Fed investigation into Norfolk County Marcy? I do not know enough about that to even give you an opinion. Don't know anything about it. I've been traveling, haven't even read up on it. Honestly have no idea. I can't opine at this time, but thank you for your super chat. Wicked Psych, thanks for your 5. Leah Belair Foley replaced U.S. Attorney for Massachusetts. Anyone know anything about her? Will she continue the investigations? Well, yeah, I would assume that the incoming U.S. Attorney is going to continue all the ongoing investigations from the previous administration. There's no reason that she wouldn't. So there is that. I have no reason to believe that she wouldn't. And I'm sure that maybe, perhaps, she may be outraged by this. She may be. She's probably has some idea of what was involved in that FBI investigation. I'm sure that she worked she's coming from inside the office. So there's that. She may be outraged. Mike, thanks for the 5. You're on vacation. Pretty awesome for dedication. Yeah, this on the morning stream, I showed everyone my ocean view, but can't do it now because it's too bright and it's blowing it. The light's blowing in. Hope you and the fam have the best time ever. Thank you. Goodmans are here and they're gifting a membership. Thank you, Goodmans. Awesome. He is gifting 5 memberships. She's also so kind and generous. And Nina says, I still don't understand exactly what the video was supposed to show. The video would have shown her car arriving at the Sallyport. Would have shown that right rear tail light. That's what it would have shown. At least. It's the tail light. It's the tail light. All right. Next thing we need to look at is the affidavit of the defense expert in support of this motion. I keep checking my email to see if anybody has sent me the motion to dismiss. I don't know if I hit the docket yet, but it's going to be based on egregious prosecutorial misconduct. Yes, Brady, says Nina. Brady. All right, thank you. I can't cover other breaking news, so I appreciate you putting it in the chat, but if it's going to distract people to leave, then let's not do that, okay? All right, here is the affidavit of defense expert Matthew Erickson in support of the motion to recover expert-related expenses from the Commonwealth. Kyle says they were supposed to show the right tail light, had no one near it. That is also true. But when the direction was corrected, it showed Proctor, identified when they showed the reversed, near it for a long time and hidden. That's right. And we also know that it was altered because there were people, apparitions appearing in and out of frame. There were ghosts. It was very ghostly, that video, right? The people were appearing and disappearing. And then, whoever got out of the passenger side door, we thought it was the passenger side door, but many of you were very eagle-eyed when they showed that video at trial. And you're like, wait, look, the writing on that antique police car is backwards. And the number on the garage door is backwards. Something's wrong with this video. You guys knew. You guys saw it. Motion to dismiss is forthcoming. I heard it's coming out today. Let me just check the docket for a look. Hold on. It looks like Mass Courts is like broken right now. Hold on a second. It's down. Masscourts.org is down right now. Can anybody else get into it? It's down for me. Anybody who needs to know what happened, I'm not going to stop and tell you what happened. So if people in the chat want to help out. Neenmock, thanks for the 10. Why wasn't the tow truck company ever brought into court and the driver and paperwork? Don't know. I don't know. Don't know. Maybe he was in the wind. Maybe they couldn't find him to serve him. Maybe he was a loose cannon. Maybe they didn't know what he was going to say. I don't know. Genuinely don't know. Well, the paperwork is not admissible because it would have to be authenticated. We do have the tow report. I mean, we've seen it. We have Barros's report, Nicholas Barros's report from Dayton PD. But it can't be, it's not admissible at trial. Barbara, thank you for the 10. Ghost of John O'Keefe is coming back with another 50. Thank you so very much. No disrespect meant on the JFK note. What about JFK? I would never encourage anyone to leave your stream. You're the best in the business. Oh, I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't even think it was you. Thank you. Thank you so much for the 50. And thank you for the compliments. I mean, oh, thank you so much. You're so very kind. Kyle, that's exactly what she said, not the DA's call. That is correct, Kyle. That's correct. Back to the papers. Yeah, Yuri suddenly couldn't remember anything for Jackson that he could for Lally. Yep. Rogue Town, he calls it the Hogwarts video. Can you imagine Mr. Jackson's cross-examination on this? He would be on fire. Hopefully this case is going to get thrown out. At the very least, that there's no way in hell that inverted video is coming back in. In fact, I would suggest to you none of that Sallyport footage should be allowed in. None of it. None of it was in its original form. Oh, the tow truck driver moved to Vermont. Thank you very much. Maybe that's why. Yeah, everybody takes pictures. Everybody takes pictures of tow trucks. Tow trucks drivers always take pictures. Thank you, Ann M. Thank you for thanking me. All right, moving on. This is how a motion is supposed to be made. Motions are supposed to be made with affidavits of a person with personal knowledge. We have seen a number of Hank Brennan motions lately that have not had affidavits attached to them, and they are facially insufficient as a matter of law. And so I would just like to point out to you that this is the proper way to make a motion. Let me make the font a little bit bigger. It's a little blurry because this may be like a PDF that somebody sent me instead of the actual court file. So we'll do our best. Okay. I, Matthew Erickson, do hereby depose and state that the following is true to the best of my knowledge and belief. I am a computer, IT, and mobile device forensic analyst at USA Forensic. I was retained as an expert witness by the defendant Karen Reed in the above captioned matter for the purpose of analyzing the current DVR configuration and obtaining forensic video surveillance evidence from the Canton PD. On December 11th, 2024, I traveled from Phoenix, Arizona to Boston, Massachusetts by plane to render expert witness services in the above captioned matter. I stayed in a hotel for one night and returned to Phoenix by plane on December 12th, 2024. The purpose of my trip was to allow me to extract surveillance video from the Canton Police Department's Exact Vision DVR system, and that is spelled EXACQ Vision DVR system, in a forensically sound manner, which aligns with methods accepted and commonly used in the digital forensic community, as well as review any video footage preserved within the system from January 29th, 2022, between 12 a.m. and 11:59 p.m. I visited the Canton Police Department on December 12th, 2024 to do so. I arrived at Canton PD on the morning of December 12th, 2024 to begin my review of the DVR system. That's not a fly on your TV screen. That is my cursor. Do not smash your TV and send me a bill, please. At around 9 a.m., and I was met by Colleen Crawford, who I was informed is a multimedia director and certified forensic video technician from the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office, as well as 3 other individuals. Either they're not naming them because they're going to be used as witnesses, or there was no log taken of the people that were present. Ms. Crawford expressed surprise that I was there to do this work. Relatedly, skepticism that the footage would still exist. I asked whether anyone had accessed the system to determine whether the relevant video footage was even present. They answered no. That's a little better. Notably, before I made this trip to Massachusetts, the defense team spoke with Ms. Crawford, and she was made aware of the footage the parties had agreed would be extracted by the defense specifically relating to the accepted date and time parameters that would be used for these processes. After photographing the wait, hold on. Was he met by 3 other people, or were there 3 other people there? Because a lot of times I would go with my experts to do their inspections. I would go. Maybe it was attorneys that were there. So let me just see. I was met by Colleen Crawford, as well as 3 other individuals. Well, I don't know for sure, but when there was a complex case that I had, I would go with my expert. I'm not sure if anybody did or not, but I'm just trying to figure out who those other people were and why they're not naming them. I asked whether anyone had access to the system to determine whether the relevant video footage was even present. They answered no. Notably, before I made this trip to Massachusetts, defense team spoke to Ms. Crawford. She was made aware of the footage that they agreed to be extracted, and I read that sentence already. After photographing the relevant DVR equipment, I began recording audio and video and then accessed the system. Initially, it appeared that there were only 30 days of video history, and consequently that the relevant footage had not been preserved. That impression was confirmed when I navigated to the appropriate section of the DVR system, where a search by day and time could be performed, and ran a search for January 29th, 2022, 12 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. That search returned 0 results. Based on the size of the drives, the percentage used, and the remaining usable drive space, I concluded that there was mathematically no possible way for the videos from January 29th, 2022 to be present in December of 2024 when I performed this search, unless they were manually saved and or properly preserved via standard forensic protocols. Trish wants to know who's going to prosecute the prosecution. Thanks, Lori. Boston Mass 781 says the lack of evidence preservation in this case is outrageous. We are outraged. Based on the size of the drives, the percentage used, and the remaining usable drive space, I concluded that there was mathematically no possible way for the videos from January 29th to be present in December 24 when I performed the search, unless they were manually, via standard forensic protocols. That's why I like to highlight, because then I remember when I lose my place. Okay. Highlight for me. Next. I began the process of generating any activity logs for the date of interest. This request ran for an abnormal amount of time without showing results. Was the system tampered with? I don't know. When asked whether the system had ever behaved this way and whether it could be expected to complete the request, the person on site who was most familiar with the system shrugged and said, he didn't know. Who's most familiar with the technology there? Anybody know? Garino? I don't know. Forensic protocol. Kamala says, what's that? Karen Griswold, thank you. Teresa says, Canton PD were never introduced to this standard forensic protocol. After investing approximately 10 minutes into this and similar actions with no results, I determined that the relevant activity logs were also gone. While there, I asked the individuals whether they had done a forensic extraction of the drives to get the original data, to which they answered no. I asked how they preserved video when they needed to, and they responded that they simply manually saved the video from the DVR. Finally, I asked if they had a written protocol in January 2022 or now for saving video. They responded that they did not. The individuals refused to provide me with a copy of the original video files that they originally pulled from the DVR system, stating that the information had already been provided to defense counsel. When asked how they produced the footage to the court and/or the defense, they seemed confused. I clarified by asking whether it was provided on a USB drive, disk, or share link. They could not tell me for sure, but eventually said it was probably a share link. I explained that getting a copy of the video files directly from them would help ensure that we are working with the same hash-verified data that was disclosed to the defense. They continued to advise that I get these files from defense and declined to provide me with any of the original video files. Well, they're being a little obstinate. Interesting how none of the attorneys from the DA's office were there to supervise. They were confused. Oh, sweetie, No's head is going to explode. Do not explode your head. Oh, sweetie, no, we won't have it. That's right. Maybe Man Shannon can help. Swiss Miss. CLK. This will be the new conspiracy theory. So I'm going to highlight it because, why not? Just a thought that what if Hank is undercover for the FBI so he can get inside info on the DA's office and the real killer? That would be crazy. That would be like a movie that nobody would believe the plot of, except for we're already in the movie that nobody would ever believe the plot of, because even in a Hollywood writer's room, everything that we've seen so far would be completely dismissed as totally not believable. The audience just isn't going to believe it. Look the other way continues. Hash data is apparently very important in forensics. I'm not a forensics expert, never said I was or claim to be, but the hash values are very important for authenticity. I'm sure Olivia knows much more about that. I can tell you much more about that. She's not furiously tweeting. The way the Canton PD technicians extracted the video data from their DVR system is insufficient for forensic purposes and has resulted in the permanent loss of the original surveillance video data. The Canton PD DVR system, like most, stores videos in a proprietary format. Canton PD uses the DVR interface to pick and choose which videos to save, and then that data is converted by the system into a playable format. The resulting file is almost always of lesser quality than the original, and because it exists in a different format, the resulting file will not hash verify to the original. As such, forensic experts cannot properly test the authenticity and integrity of the video footage. Due to the Commonwealth's failure to preserve the original surveillance footage, I was unable to extract the DVR system footage from January 29, 2022 to obtain relevant footage between 12 a.m. and 11:59 p.m. as previously arranged and agreed upon by all parties. The plane fare in total cost $2,296. The one-night hotel stay in total cost $233.77. Uber trips to and from the airport's hotel in Canton PD in total cost $314.72.12 expenses, snacks and beverages at each airport and Wi-Fi on the December 11th flight to Massachusetts totaled $103.12. The fee associated with the 10-hour December 11th, 2024 travel day was $375 per hour, or $37.50 in total. The fee associated with the 15 hours of work performed at the Canton PD on December 12th of 2024 and in Phoenix, both before and after the trip, was $375 per hour, or $5,625 in total. In sum, the travel expenses, expert fees, and related costs associated with my December 11th and 12th, 2024 trip to Massachusetts total $12,229.57. Signed and sworn under the penalties of perjury. 22nd day of January, 2025, Matthew Erickson. Interesting. Boston Mass 781 pointing out things lost in this case. Tissue samples, original device used to take the crime scene photos, SIM cards, teeth, dogs, Sallyport footage, library footage, all of it. All of it. All that and more. Yeah, can't access the docket. We've broken the internet. We've broken the internet. The mass court's docket has been broken because everyone worldwide is trying to get a copy of this motion to dismiss. But we were here first on scene. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe somebody else already covered it with this motion regarding this the expert fees. I mean, this was the kindest way to make that motion by simply saying that the Commonwealth should have to reimburse Karen Reed for the expert witness fees for him showing up to inspect the system at Canton PD that records the Sallyport videos, and they had no idea why he was there. Those videos weren't preserved. They're not properly hash marked. They no longer exist. Were they destroyed? Or was it a scrivener's error? So many of you are tuning in late, so I'm just going to point out a couple of very, very interesting tidbits from the original, the motion that we looked at. Take a look at this. I want to talk about the timeline of events here. But for that, I need to and what was turned over when. All right, so after the trial on October 10th, this is important. The Commonwealth again provided new video surveillance, okay? This is after Hank Brennan takes over. October 10th, after the trial's over. This time from the Canton PD church side exterior, first floor corridor, rear lot main side, and rear lot cruiser side angles. And this is footage from January 29th of 2022. That was never turned over to the defense. New. This footage shows Brian Higgins arrive in the parking lot of the Canton PD at 1:26 a.m. I don't remember what time he testified he got there, but I do remember Sergeant Good testified that he saw him come in and said hello. They had a little exchange. According to this new video surveillance footage, Higgins gets there at 1:26 a.m., entered the Canton Police Department, speaks, and he's speaking to some unidentified person on the phone as he is leaving the Canton PD between 1:34:52 and 1:34:56 a.m. So he only spent 8 minutes inside the Canton PD. Didn't he have a whole story about how he was moving cars around? He went there to move the cars around? Right. This is when he was supposed to be home. I don't know. I'm going to have to go back and make a timeline. Where did he go after he left? He said he went home. Remember, he said he went home. He had a couple more drinks. And then at some point, oh, well, actually, it wasn't at some point. What time was it that he was butt dialing back and forth with Brian Albert? What time was that? Let's see if that fake didn't really happen. 2:27 Google search was made at 2:27. I believe that their butt dials were a little bit before that, around 222, right? 222. 222. Where did he go at 134? How far away does he live? Was he home? Because he claims he was home. He was sleeping, and he must have butt dialed him back. I forget which one called which one, who called who first. Who called who first, and then who butt dialed back. And those calls were not missed calls. They were actually for a length of time, right? And he butt dialed him right back. Could that show that Higgins perjured himself under oath? I wonder what else. I'm sure this is not the only significant bombshells. Brian called him first, and then Brian and Brian. It's two Brians. Brian squared. Albert called Higgins, and then Higgins called back Albert. And he did. I remember him saying that he was like asleep on his couch because he went home, had a couple more JMOs. Significantly, this material and relevant evidence, which establishes Brian Higgins was on the phone with some unidentified individual at 1:34 a.m. as he left the Canton PD shortly after O'Keefe's death, was withheld from the defense at the first trial. Again, no chain of custody. So many issues, rife with issues that call into question its accuracy and forensic viability, including the presence of the inverted video and a large-scale gap missing from the feed at the precise time at which Miss Reed's Lexus should have been showed entering the Canton PD Sallyport garage, in spite of the fact that the Commonwealth claims the video surveillance feed is motion activated. The fact that the Canton PD produced video surveillance with an inverted video and a gap in the footage at the critical moment, i.e. the precise time Ms. Reed's SUV arrived at the Canton PD garage, is not trivial. It goes to the heart of her defense. I mean, this is wild. Hank Brennan agreed to allow the defense access to get the information directly from the machine or the DVR at Canton PD. They hire their expert. They fly him in from Phoenix. And he gets there on December 11th. They have no idea why he's there. None of this stuff exists that he's supposed to examine. It doesn't exist. It just doesn't. April 23rd was when the other new video surfaced. That was during trial. That was the inverted video that came via a share link. I don't know if that's like WeTransfer or Dropbox. I don't know what they're talking about. Maybe it was during the trial. The share link was entitled Additional Sallyport Video Download Link. And that is when, for the first time ever, the Commonwealth produced additional footage from the Canton PD Sallyport back wall. Yuri Buchanan testified that was a fair and accurate representation of everything that went on, even though there were ghosts and all kinds of things. Left was right, right was left. Passenger side was driver's side was passenger side. Right rear tail light was left rear tail light. Because it's like the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and we are in a special land where things evidence just reveals itself. Videos flip. And it is wild. Canton to West Roxbury would be about 30 minutes. Okay. So technically, I guess if he left there at whatever time, 1:34, could have gone home. Somebody suggested he might have went in there to get a Faraday bag. Wow, just wow. Where's Melanie Little's left swipe on StreamYard? I'm here. I'm here. Hotel Wi-Fi. You know, what are you going to do? But also, I did it myself because I swiped myself out. And I also was going to Super Chats, and I was swiping down because they reverted back to their. I'm trying to see where I was so that everyone is properly thanked. Just as Henry's mom became a new member. Thank you so much. Hopefully, while we're sitting here, the Mass Court's website is just going to heal itself. We're going to get a hold of the defense motion to dismiss, which is coming next. And I bet that's going to be even more fire on acid than the one that we just read. Jen Lee, if it's not brought in, defense can't point out the corruption, right? They were not really allowed to speak too much about corruption during the first trial. I'm not sure exactly what you mean, the Sallyport video. But thanks for your super chat. Squirty Belly, thanks, David. I was being sarcastic about the tow truck driver. Yeah, I know. They're supposed to take, that he was in Vermont. I don't know. There's too many things going on here at once. My brain is mush. Kelly Jane, my concern is that good old Beverly will just exclude the video, which removes any ability to show it's been altered, and thus the behavior of Canton PD, etc. I think that we're going to wait. Let's wait for the motion to dismiss, because they're going to ask for a lot of alternative remedies. And I think that also there might be some other things, some other nefarious things that have been discovered. I don't know. I just have kind of a feeling. I don't have any inside information. I just kind of feel like I have a feeling. Thank you for your super chat. Michelle says, thanks for your time. If Bev rules against this motion, is this something that can be brought to the Supreme Court to overrule her decision? This could be appealed. Yeah, it could be appealed, of course. We still haven't heard from the appellate court, from the SJC, regarding the juror issue, whether or not they acquitted her on counts 1 and 3. And we're not allowed to express themselves. So we're still waiting for that appellate decision. This trial is supposed to now start on April 1st, but it could also be adjourned based on what happens with the SJC. I was talking Baldwin. That's okay. That's okay. Nina thinks that Judge Canoni will find a way, a crab walk way to deny the motion. And then Nina says it seems but deletions replaced but dials. Elle Parker, thank you so much for the 50. Thank you for coming live from Cancun. Beautiful. Welcome to the age of Aquarius. Truth shall prevail. Sending birthday love. Oh, P.S. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. That's a very generous super chat, Elle Parker. Thank you so very much. Not to be confused with Elle Woods, who we also love here from Legally Blonde. Kelly, thanks for the hi. Higgins testified Brian Albert left. Higgins testified he left Brian Albert's house between 12:30 and 1 and went to Canton PD right away, which is a mile and a half away, right? And the new surveillance footage shows them arriving at almost 1:30, right? Where did he go? Oh, there she is. Melanie Little's left swipe in StreamYard. She's here. Thank you for the 10. Sherry, thanks for gifting 5 memberships. I appreciate you so very much. Fairy Raven from Ireland. Thank you, Emma, for another super chat. Enjoying my break. Pray for Ireland. You have a huge storm incoming tonight and through the next few days, the worst in decades. Prayers up for Ireland. Prayers up for all of our friends in California, Southern California. There's new fires starting now. All right, let's see. Colleen, thank you for the Venmo. Checked her notes and says that 2/6 and 2/7 are ARCA days. Also have 127 and 131 marked as hearings in her calendar. I don't have 127. I don't know about 127, but we can't access mass courts right now anyway. I think 127 might have been something that was that the original trial date. I don't recall. Thank you so much, Colleen, for your Venmo. Thank you, Jess, for yours. Thanks for the coverage. Enjoy Dave. Love him. I hope he plays Say Goodbye. Oh, yeah. I mean, there's so many songs that I want to hear, and he plays them all every year. It's 3 nights on the beach. It is absolutely amazing. But if he plays Say Goodbye, I will think of you, Jess. Thank you, Sherilyn, for your cash app. Thank you so much. Can't do much with this in Cancun. It's all inclusive. So you know what? Drinks around me, everybody. Drinks around me. Lisa, thank you for the cash app. Says, have a great vacation. Thank you so very much. Hopefully this thing is going to heal itself, the docket, because I'm waiting. I'm waiting on the edge of my seat, literally, for this motion to dismiss, because they said in their original motion, let's go back, let me go back to those papers for a second. I didn't highlight it, so it's going to be harder for me to. A motion to dismiss for extraordinary governmental misconduct based on the destruction of this and other exculpatory evidence is forthcoming. It's forthcoming. I don't know if it's going to be today. Maybe it's just forthcoming. But let's hang out for a couple minutes together. Thank you, Lori, for your super chat. You're a rock star. No, you're a rock star. Sarah and Shock and Hora. Thank you. Thank you for your 10. If he sings Grace is Gone, think of me. Love Dave. One of my first concerts. Oh, I love that. I love that. You know what I love also? Sister, because I'm here with my sister. And so that's our song. So many good songs and so little time. But here's what I think is going to happen, okay? Here's what I think is going to happen. And if I'm right about this, John Mayer and Dave Matthews are going to be playing together for the first time at the Fire Aid concert in LA, which is scheduled for January 30th, I believe. I have a feeling that John Mayer may show up this weekend to play with him because they need to rehearse. What do you think? What do you think about that? Would that be amazing or what? So I got some John Mayer gear with me too. Thank you for your dedication and covering this. I love you. I love you, Emily. I love you. Thank you for your super chat. When did Higgins have time to use FBI equipment to get text messages with Karen off of his phone? This is what he testified he was doing. Well, he wasn't doing it exactly then, remember, because I don't remember the exact date that he went in to meet with Proctor and Buchanan, and he brought those text messages printed out with him. So he went there a different day because I don't remember exactly when he gave his interview. That was not recorded in any way, shape, or form. None of them were. None of these were recorded. But you know what, because we've been covering a lot of other cases in Massachusetts since then, and we know that they typically do record interviews, especially of suspects. Because Dr. Turk's interview was recorded. That was all the way back in 2020, and it was 3 hours long. It was audio recorded in the hospital. We also have learned that Dover PD knows how to do it. Dover PD is on it. They are amazing. And Canton PD should be ashamed of themselves with the way that they responded to and investigated the murder of a fellow brother in blue. It is absolutely an abomination. Mass courts is still not working. It's an abomination. They should be embarrassed. And we're all in shock and horror. That was before he decided to get rid of his phone at joint bases in Cape Cod. Kathleen is surmising at 1:30 a.m. O'Keefe was still alive. Higgins called Berkowitz for advice. Should we call 911 or make it look like a hit and run? That's a theory. Maybe the defense now knows what the SUV information is. Right, when they went down to do the chip on. Maybe they found out that they had the information all along and they didn't turn it over. Right? I love John Mayer too. Says resisting arrest. Oh, I like that. Resisting arrest. So cute. So cute. Marie Louise, thanks for tuning in. I was looking forward to seeing the missing bits of the tape where people were popping in and out in different places. Thanking me for my coverage. Thank you. Thank you, Kelly Jane. Also, everyone who's subscribed, make sure that you're still subscribed because sometimes YouTube has been unsubscribing people without their knowledge. And so, you don't want to miss, a thing. I don't think you want to miss a thing. I want to know what you guys think. And then we're gonna look at we're gonna see what's happening on the Twitterverse. Let's see. Yeah, Aiden tweeted 3 hours ago. Karen Reed's defense team filed a motion today that included new video of Brian Higgins at Canton PD, which was withheld from them in the first trial. The surveillance video shows Brian Higgins pacing around outside, talking to someone on his phone at 1:34 a.m. He never mentioned speaking to anyone on the phone at the trial. or at the state or federal grand jury. Had he done so, the defense could have filed a Rule 17 motion for his phone, which would be a lot stronger and less likely to be deemed a fishing expedition if they had video of him talking on the phone. He testified at trial that he was back home in West Roxbury by 1:40 and that it took 15 to 20 minutes to get there. This was a lie, as was his excuse for being at Canton PD in the first place. And of course, he attaches the receipts. So let's look at the video of Higgins' testimony. Thank you, Aiden, for posting this so that we can now watch the video together. And here's Higgins being questioned by Lally.
Where did you go from there?
I went back to West Roxbury.
And which vehicle that you described, which of those vehicles did you use to get from Canton PD to West Roxbury?
The Jeep Cherokee, Jeep Wrangler, sorry.
Jeep Cherokee, then he corrects it to Jeep Wrangler.
And if you know about what time was it that you got home to West Roxbury?
Could have been somewhere around 20 to 2. I'm not 100% positive.
1:40, and yet he's seen walking out of the Canton PD at, I'm sorry, what did we say, 1:36? My mind is so blown that the details are just escaping me, so correct me if I get something wrong.
So sometime between 1:30 and 2 a.m., is that roughly around?
Yes.
And where did you
Impossible. You guys see Lally's trying to clean it up. Oh, sometime between 1:30 and 2 a.m., right?
go from there?
I went back to West Roxbury.
And which vehicle that you described?
Oh, it's playing again. So let's just listen to it again. After he left Canton PD, he went back to West Roxbury. We know from what we just read from the new video surveillance that was just turned over on October, I think it was 10th, that he didn't leave Canton PD because it's on video till 1:36. Did Lally know?
Those vehicles did you use to get from Canton PD to West Roxbury?
The Jeep Cherokee, Jeep Wrangler, sorry.
And if you know about what time was it that you got home to West Roxbury?
Could have been somewhere around 20 to 2. I'm not 100% positive.
So sometime between 1:30 and 2 a.m., is that roughly around?
Yes.
And where did you go from there?
I went.
Okay, wait. And he also attaches another clip. Let me just pull that up. Thank you for bearing with me today while I'm not using my regular equipment. Swiping myself out. Hold on. Oh, good. And this is a little Jackson Cross. Little smooth as butter AJ Cross. Hang on.
How long did it take you to get home from Canton PD?
A little longer from after I moved the vehicles.
Correct.
I don't know. I mean, it could have been 15 minutes. It could have been 20 minutes.
How long did it take you to get home from Canton PD?
A little longer from after I moved the vehicles.
Correct.
I don't know. I mean, it could have been 15 minutes. It could have been 20 minutes.
How long did it take you?
He said he moved the vehicles, but I didn't hear about any video of him moving the vehicles. There's video of him talking on the phone to somebody. He never moved any vehicles. Hi, Will. Liar. Liar. Will hates Dave Matthews. Don't hate on him, but he does. He does. All right, hang on. Let's see. This is well, Aiden said also 5 hours ago, as we learned in recent discovery dumps in my case, meaning his case, the Commonwealth withheld a lot of evidence from the first trial. Second trial is going to be much better for Karen Reed. That's what his sources were saying. Then this motion came out. Now we know that there's going to be a new motion coming, but right now the internet is broken. Massport's website is down. Everybody's trying to get it. Let's see. See if our girl Olivia has anything up. Olivia? Olivia? Olivia, where are you? Olivia, your last tweet was on January 14th. Olivia, I need proof of life. Anybody know where Olivia is? 15 minutes in the snow? Exactly. Liar, I'm a liar. What's that song? Liar, like Rollins, like something Rollins. That's a great song. Oh, I think it's in our playlist for the first Karen retrial. David Wainwright says the most imaginative author couldn't have come up with the kind of corruption and cover-up that this case throws up. Yeah. Some guy with cancer thinks of the fact that JFK and RFK files have been declassified just now. Time for more reading on the government. Oh boy, all right. Well, can you read it and summarize it for me? Monica, thanks for becoming a new member. Charles Agro, or Argo, not Agro. Thanks for tuning in from South Africa. Maybe your location is why you can't connect to the Massachusetts site. Oh, that could be that because I'm in Mexico. That could be, but although my paralegal team can't get it either. Nobody else can get it. So, and their boots on the ground, US. But thank you so much for even thinking about that. Rogue Townie, thank you so much for thanking me with your Cash App. Appreciate you, brother. Kelly Jane, thanks for becoming a member. Fire on Acid, again with another 5, says, if I was one of the children witnesses, Julie, Sarah, etc. Well, they weren't really children, but I know what you mean. I'd be pooping my pants about now and saving my own. I don't know, somebody's going to maybe flip. Tracy, no one took pictures of the most important piece of evidence. Nope, nobody photographed that taillight. If anyone, who? Ambulance driver, thanks for the 5. Interesting distinction. After I moved the vehicles. Yep. Joseph Kane, thank you for gifting a membership. 2 memberships. You're so kind and generous. Anybody have any inside information as to the layout of the Canton Sallyport and Canton PD and where those cameras face, the ones that they received all this new footage from on October 10th, and what could be revealed there? Anybody know? Because now I'm curious and curiouser, because maybe that's the subject of another motion. Maybe whatever was in that other footage that they turned over is the subject of this egregious motion that's going to come out. We need a whistleblower, says Max Bang. Yep. This case opens up corruption nationwide. Peter Murphy might know it. Blair, we'll get him to come on your show later. Call Peter Murphy, get him on your show. That's a great way. We'll tag team the coverage on this. I already went through the documents. Now you can do like some more investigative work. Find out what those cameras would show, what they could possibly show. What else was revealed? Oh, so you're going on at 9. All right, good. Mass Dad says for the SJC, anything less than 3 to 4 months is fast. Although we did remember that that other decision came out and it was only heard a month before Karen Reed's case. And it's probably been a month since that decision came out, and then they were on break, right? So I don't know. Also, it's a very big case. It's going to have like the ripple effects of this decision are going to be enormous. But we also saw the SJC not afraid to change jury instructions, because that's, thanks, Joe. That's what they did in that other case. All right, well, you know what? Stay tuned, because I do have some time now that my sister had to divert back to the West Coast because of a mechanical issue, but hopefully she's going to get here in time for the shows and she's not going to be stranded back there. Thank you, Nina. Am I right? The motion says he arrived at 1:26 and left at 1:34, and he was on the phone, right? When he was leaving, he was on the phone, right? So no vehicles were moved, no administrative work done, perjury. Well, I can't say for sure. I can't say for sure because he could have come in and done some paperwork and that, what is it, 8 minutes? He could have. They say when he was outside, he was on the phone. And we don't know if the cameras would show the parking lot where he was moving around the cars, so I can't really say for sure. But I know where you're going with that, Nina. And you're wicked smart. Wicked, wicked smart. Thank you, Will. Thanks, Will. If I'm around and I'm bored, maybe I'll pop in. It'll be what, 9 p.m.? You know, you can always send me an invite. I know I think I owe you the invite. I think it's time for you to come over to mine, but, you know, spotty internet, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Ms. Jim Marson. Whoa. And who was the detective on the stand that took the phone from Kerry, but he only remembered the second call? Took the phone from, I don't remember any detective testifying that he took the phone from Kerry. Kerry doesn't remember. She says she found the phone under John's body. She doesn't remember who she gave it to. And I do not remember anybody testifying that they took possession of John's phone. If anybody can tell me the truth, tell me I'm wrong on that. I don't know. I can't remember who it was. Does anybody know? Because I totally don't remember. Oh, Mark Betterow posted. All right. Hang on. Let's wait for it. Betterow says, quick and dirty view. Higgins will need his lawyer again at a retrial. He's got some splaining to do to the extent he is willing to contradict himself under oath. And that was 44 minutes ago. And then he posts some Jewel Karp's tweet, which I'm not going to read. And that's the only like recipient thing he tweeted today about this exact motion. So there's that. I don't know if he's going on Young Jerks tonight, but make sure your notifications are set and make sure you are resubscribed. And for earplugs tonight, oh no, it's tomorrow. The shows are tomorrow night. So today's what, Thursday? Shows are Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So tonight's the night off. Actually, Lord Huron is playing tonight, but Dave and Tim shows start tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So there's that. I'm very dedicated to this cause, and I'm here for you. Sarah, thanks for the 5. I want to know if Higgins is wearing the same clothes in the new video footage, or did he change? That is a great question. Because remember, he's again at the Sallyport. Isn't he also in the Sallyport video when they're walking around the car after the car comes in? So interesting. Nothing. Mass court's still down. All right. Hang tight. Hang tight. If I get it, I'll come back and be done before Will, I'm sure. Before Will comes on. So make sure you have your notifications set. Make sure you smash the like button on your way out. It'd be a really kind thing to do. Help a girl out with whatever this algorithm is that they tell me about. L. Parker, thank you so much for becoming a new member. And also, Kelly Reed is in the house. Hi, Kelly. Happy birthday, Miss Cianetti. I hope you have a wonderful day. And I don't know how old you are, but I think we're around the same age. So you wear it well, sir. You wear it well. Stay cool, stay kind, stay classy, my friends. And see you real soon. Peace out. Funny the way it is if you think about it.